We've got new champions and new champions. We've got Marab, new champion, bantamweight champion, and you've got Valentina Shevchenko, new female flyweight champion, is it? We'll go into it.
Round one, fight!
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. It's another episode of Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analysts. Solo one today. K West is just sorting out some stuff, but I wanted to jump on and give my thoughts and geek out about UFC 306, UFC Noche, which was an absolute spectacle. It was the first event in the Sphere. Dana's been going on about this for ages. It was very, very anticipated, not just because of the fights, because the fights were amazing, and we'll get into that, but the spectacle of this event in that arena took it to another level. And that was a lot of anticipation as well. I think the UFC is amazing, in my opinion, amazing at building its own brand as well as building the fighters. Because to this day, you have people saying, you know, do you do UFC? Instead of like martial arts or MMA, it's like, oh, you do UFC. Like, they just built that brand so much, it's almost like it took over martial arts or MMA, and people think it, the casuals or just people who's not familiar, or instead of thinking martial arts, they think UFC. Amazing at building the UFC. I mean, if you think about all the UFC cards, it's like, you know, UFC, what, 306, UFC, whatever, UFC Fight Night. So UFC is what they build, which is the brand, which I think is amazing. But then they still do an amazing job of building the fighters. And that's who it's really all about, right? The fighters. They're the ones who put their lives on the line. They're the ones who's entertaining the crowd. They're the ones who's displaying a free form of martial arts, you know, expressing themselves in the form of martial arts. So of course, they're the ones who deserve all the popularity, all the fame, all the money, all that sort of stuff. I feel like the UFC just does an amazing and has done an amazing job for building itself, and this was a massive part of it, you know. And on top of it, the spectacle of the Sphere, the technology in there, the visuals, the Mexican history, you know, Mexican Independence Day. I mean, not only you build a UFC brand, because people are gonna come out and just be like, the UFC just smashed it with this event. You're building the fighters brands based on all the fighters that fought and the attention that they got. And then just the love letter to Mexico on Mexican Independence Day, as Dana put it, was just another element they added to it. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. The visuals of this place was stunning. Like, from someone who's never been there, maybe I might never ever go there, but to just, it's the first time that I really saw visuals of it. I haven't really Googled or YouTubed any concert images or whatnot from it. So this was my first experience of experiencing what this arena is about from Dubai on my screen, and it looked fantastic. I can only imagine what that looked like. I'm just thinking, like, when I'm seeing it, I'm just thinking like, you know, watching an IMAX movie times 1,000, because it's just amazing. I mean, what they did was absolutely amazing. The visuals, the stunning effects, the storyline that they put together between each fight was amazing. And another thing I have to put out, I have to give credit to them, is like, I thought because of this storyline that they're doing between fights, that they're going to prolong the production like they do in boxing, and it's going to be like 30 minutes between each fight, and, you know, really long. I get really bored of that, to be honest with you. It was nothing like that. It was still on point. The timing was absolutely amazing. They didn't prolong anything with the stories. The stories were short, sweet, digestible information, content, and a great story of Mexican fighters and the history of Mexico. And it was short and sweet. And then they got to the next fight, which was amazing. And then they moved on to the fighters, you know. They didn't take anything away from the fight. They just added an extra element, which was absolutely amazing. So that's what I loved. It didn't get boring. It didn't take time. They got straight to it. Just perfect timing. Yeah, I've got to give credit to the whole UFC production team and everyone else that worked on it, man, because they got the timing on point. You know, I could only imagine being there would be amazing. But from sitting at home, rather than, you know, sitting on my phone waiting for the next fight or whatever, I was engaged in the storyline, looking at the visuals, which was stunning, and then moving on to the next fight. Like, when you got me engaged between fights, then you know you smashed it. And that's what I love about the UFC. They just get straight to the fights, and this was no different. So mad credit to that production there. And I love, again, all the visuals when they're doing tailor the tape with the fighters. The visuals on the screen was just absolutely stunning. That was just wicked. And just the background visuals, just, oh my God, they smashed it. That was an amazing event. I would love to go to this fair for a UFC event. I'll probably be biased to stick to that, but if I wouldn't gonna, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I ever go there or whatnot, but that was sick. That was sick. Looked amazing. They smashed it. Like, hats off to the production, man. UFC just absolutely smashed it. But the main thing is always going to be the fights, the martial arts, what I always love to geek out about. You know, just wanted to kind of share my thoughts, geek out about the fights, the division, the fighters. We've got new champions and new champions. We've got Marab, new champion, bantamweight champion, and you've got Valentina Shevchenko, new female flyweight champion, is it? We'll go into it. But yeah, first of all, I just wanted to start off with the UFC. Let's share the screen and see, I mean, some of the visuals on the Instagram and obviously all over the UFC Instagram, so do check those out. But what I found also fascinating before we get into the fights real quick, let me just share my screen real quick. So one thing I wanted to give back, look at some of these screenshots, these visuals. This was sick, this one right here. Can I get it bigger? I mean, look at that. On the outside of the sphere, I mean, obviously they showed the inside was what it was all about, but when you go on the outside, you know, if you were on the streets of freaking Vegas and you're driving past, you're seeing this massive, I mean, it must look amazing. It's crazy. On the screen, it just looks like something else. It's crazy. But they will show the highlights, the entries to some of the entries to the fights. I mean, like not the highlights to the fights, but like the winners and whatnot. I mean, if you're from the outside, you could just, I feel like they even gave a show for free to the people on the outside. That's let alone amazing. I could only imagine being inside, which would be sick. But let's get into the fights. I mean, you know, Sean O'Malley versus Marab, and his name, I'm trying to pronounce the surname, but Davalishvili. All respect to this machine, man. Let's just call him the machine, Marab. We got a new bantamweight champion. You know, when this fight was announced, or when you see Marab come up, you're already kind of thinking, you know what, like this guy might be the guy to take out Sugar Sean, right? Because he's grappling, his pace is just relentless. He's literally a machine. I mean, the guy's got like just amazing energy, non-stop energy. It's just unbelievable. And you're thinking, if anyone's going to take out Sean's such a sniper. He's got amazing footwork, amazing like understanding of reach, of distance, of movement. He's a sniper when it comes to striking. And if there was anyone that was going to beat him and put him on the back foot, it was someone like Marab, who just puts like just non-stop pressure from striking to takedown. Now, Marab won, he dominated the fight. He dominated the fight with pressure, with grappling. But he wasn't as relentless as we've seen him, you know, with, you know, when he fought Petr Yan, when he fought Henry Cejudo. He still had a respect for Sean O'Malley's striking and his ability to counter strike and be precise with the strike. There was still a respect there, which is why I don't think he was as relentless as he normally was. He was still relentless. He still put the pressure on, but it was a little bit more disciplined. In the sense that I think there was just a respect there. And with Sean O'Malley as well, I think he was, I think the respect for Marab's, and he felt that, I think, after the first round of Marab's pace and ability to take him down. Now, Sean got up a few times. Well, Shane got up. Was he Sugar Shane or Sugar Sean? I think he said it was Sean. People were calling him Shane, but Sean got up, which was great. Good morale booster and whatnot. But again, the pace for Marab was non-stop. And I think they both had the element of respect, which is why both were kind of hesitant in what they normally do. Marab, though, end of the day, his pressure, him being able to take down Sean Sugar and control him, land some ground and pound, even, you know, almost got, I don't know if he got submission attempts, but he had the neck a few times. And maybe he wasn't even going for that. but he was able to control, and he won, you know, in dominant fashion. Now in round 5, you could say maybe he took the round off, in a sense. Sugar found that front kick to the body that really damaged and really made Merab hurt. Now we don't know if he found that in the first round, would he have capitalized on that and be able to finish fight? But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. But the fact is, he found that in round 5, and he knew that was there. And round, you know, Merab won that fight. He ended up moving around a lot more in round 5, and he ended up winning. But, you know, I think, you know, I saw some of the interviews, people saying Sugar look a bit flat and all that sort of stuff. Maybe I just feel Marab's pressure made him look flat. His relentless of grappling, and even he was striking, throwing. I think he started off the fight with a couple of high kicks or whatnot. I think that's what put. I didn't think it made Sugar look flat. I think he still looked good, like especially in the 5th round after just being dominated from the perspective of grappling. To still find something that possibly could have made him win if he found that in the earlier rounds, which was those front kicks to the body. And that's something that he's going to acknowledge and remember for the next time. Like, okay, like if I'm going to go against someone like him or possibly like an Umar or something, that front kick, toes pointing, digging with the toes is what you want to do. Like, and maybe that's something for the future that he will learn and apply. But I think it was Marab that made him look. I don't know what you know, just he nullified it. He nullified his ability to move and his sniperness and whatnot. And Moab's movement, non-stop cardio, the guys are just non-stop. It just adds more to it. So, you know, congratulations to Moab. It was almost like Habib, likeness, like in the sense of that relentless of grappling. Now, Habib was a different level with the grappling because it was just non-stop control. You get up, you take it down, get up, non-stop. With Marab, there's elements of that, but those elements of break, of holding, because when Habib had you down, he would ground and pound the shit out of you. That ground and pound, you know, after maybe like Mark Coleman or something, Habib's like the best, I would say, in regards to ground and pound, because it was just brutal. Marab was just, I would say, from the ground and pound perspective and the relentless of the takedowns. Well, I mean, I guess he showed it in the Petrian fight, but it's just relentless. It's amazing. It almost felt like Khabib, like not even. I don't think even Islam or Umar or Usman, them guys are relentless with that striking and takedown, or the takedown, should I say? They're a bit more composed in regards to, and then of course, they can merge it together. But I feel like they're so technical and beautiful to look at with their striking and takedown. It feels like there's it's not as relentless. I think it's just a bit more paced. That's what I'm trying to say. But it was, listen, if anyone was going to fight, take Sugar out, it was going to be like that. It was going to be for the grappling. I think trying to strike with him is always going to be, you know, why would you want to strike with an expert sniper striker like Sugar? It's just a perfect game plan that he applied. And that was perfect. And he won. I like Moab's vibe. You know, he talks a lot. He's been out of his shell, talking a lot and whatnot. He's just like, I'm a regular guy, just a normal person and whatnot. So I think he's just trying to use that to inspire people. You've got to love the humbleness of him, or the I don't know, he has a likeliness about him. Sugar's awesome. I don't think he put Sugar's been down before. We saw him what happened with that first Chito Vera fight. He came back. There's no reason why he can't come back. So he'll definitely come back. Maybe him and Corey Sandhagen, you know, they both just lost. That would be a good fight for them too. Let me see the rankings. Let's see who's in there. Because that would be a good fight. Let me check this out. Because I think Umar is definitely next, right? And now, of course, people are going to be like, because Umar's number 2. And there's a whole thing that, oh, Umar hasn't fought everyone in anyone top 10, just Corey Sandhagen, who was number 3, like the best in the top 3, and he beat him. You know, there was a whole thing that people didn't want to fight Umar. Davison Figueiredo had, you know, he's a former champion. He's had more wins in the top 10. I think he beat, who did he beat? Marlon Vera and Cody Garbrandt, right? I don't think Cody was in that top 10. Anyway, you know, but end of the day, if people didn't want to, if it's true, people didn't want to fight Umar, and Corey Sandhagen, again, you have to give him credit for giving him the opportunity, and he beat him, then, you know, I would say, like, I mean, from my opinion, give Umar the title fight, and then after that, if you want the title, you got to fight Umar. right? And I look, Marab versus Umar is I think, in my opinion, more funner fight than Sugar and Umar. And I know they're trying to hype Sugar and Umar in a sense, like almost like a Khabib Conor type fight. But Sugar's not as, how do I put it, man? He's not as disgusting in what he would say compared to Conor. Conor will go all out. When it came to trash talking, Conor was like the best in the game, but he had no limits. He just went all out. Sugar's I wouldn't go that far to bring up family and religion and all that sort of stuff. So the hype wouldn't be there. But yeah, I get it. I get it from the perspective of like Irish and Russian and all that sort of stuff. But I think Marab versus Umar is a more exciting fight. Just the non-stop pressure and pace from Marab, the excellent grappling from both of them, and excellent striking. I think Umar might have an edge on the striking, just to be a bit more crisp. And I don't think, because of both of them being such amazing grapplers, I don't think either one of them, especially Umar, having the edge on striking, I think won't hesitate to strike, because if he gets into a wrestling scramble, they'll be able to handle it. That's an exciting fight. What do they call it? The Papaka? I can't remember what's called, like the white Papaka versus the black one. I think that's the name. I can't messed up the hat name, but I think that's going to be the fun fight. I think there's going to be a mutual respect. I know Mawab was saying certain things that he might not be able to, he might not deserve it, but at the end of the day, I think that's a big fight. It's a huge fight, and I can't wait for that one to happen. And it's more of an interesting fight, because Marab is different level. Like, we don't see him get tired. And I'm not saying Umar gets tired, but he's definitely going to have to pick up his training. And I'm sure, of course, we heard the stories, Khabib and them not push him to the craziness, to the limits. But that would be a great fight. Can't wait for that to happen. Inshallah, it happens before Ramadan, which will be February. So yeah, I mean, yeah, 3 months. I mean, if Marab wants to do it, hopefully they'll make it within the next 3 months, which will be awesome. And for Sugar, I would say someone like a Corey Sandhagen will be an awesome fight. Davison Figueiredo might be good, because he's coming up in that division, so that might be good. Actually, I would say Davison Figueiredo or Corey Sandhagen for Sean O'Malley would be awesome. If they do that, then maybe Davison Figueiredo could fight Petrayan or Henry Cejudo. There's a storyline there. I guess I don't know if they're still friends or whatnot. But yeah, this division's so much fun. That's just awesome. Let's move on to the next fight. Hold on, let's go back to the event. Then I can't wait. I can't wait to see what more they do with this, because this is going to be sick. All right, let's go back to the events. All right, let me share my screen again so we get to the next fight. Here we go. Just want to give you the visuals as I talk about this, because I think that's what's always fun about this. All right, the women's flyweight title by Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Now this, I think Shevchenko, end of the day, her strategy was just perfect for her to win. Now, it wasn't the funnest fight in the world. It was, she won based on dominant control, not really damage, in my opinion. She was able to take her down and basically control her. Nagusa was being, you have to get, I don't know if they get as much points or credit for being dangerous on your back. Like, she almost got a few different submissions. Like, I don't know how tight they were, but the handing guillotine, there was a point where she had a triangle and trying to get the Kimura as well. Like, she was definitely, the armbar at a couple points. She was definitely attacking from the ground, and she's amazing at it. But Shevchenko won by control more than damage or anything. Now, it was when I say fun fight, it was just fun from the perspective of where Shevchenko was able to dominate from that perspective, use that game plan and dominate. From the striking, I think it was both kind of evenish. But we didn't see much of it. We didn't see much of the striking. You know, it was more definitely got to do with the control of grappling and whatnot. So it's a smart game plan. Boring fight, smart game plan. End of the day, you know, I'm not a fighter, not on that level at all, right? But I would understand what Shevchenko had to do and show dominance. And it's a part of MMA. End of the day, it's a part of MMA. I know it's not the most exciting thing. And I know MMA's changed in the years. It has to be entertaining and all that sort of stuff. It was interesting though. I didn't talk about much. Herb D was talking in the championship fight with Sugar and Marab about working, you know, even when Marab was just kind of taking him down and he kept saying work, 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 work. In this fight, I can't remember who the ref was, but he wasn't talking much about work. And that's what I felt like. There wasn't much work going on from Shevchenko. It was more control. So if you're talking about from a perspective of working and doing damage for the entertainment's sake, or just kind of putting off damage, then I feel like in that fight should have been said a lot more because she was just controlling. Whereas Marab, I think, it was working way more. But yeah, look, she lost Alexander, what's her name? Valentino won based on control, new champion, new bantamweight champion, or flyweight champion, women's flyweight champion. She's such a dominant fighter. I think she was also smart as well. Learning from the last two fights. Yeah, like she did what she had to do to win, you know, to make sure she won this fight. I don't think we need to see another fight between them, you know. Yeah, we don't see another fight between them, not anytime soon. Maybe give Alexa another fight, let her build up again, build up that storyline a little bit more, and then we'll take it from there. But I think, you know, you got Moran Firot, that could be interesting. Erin Blanchfield, that could be interesting. Yeah, I would say let Macy Barber. I would say let's change this one up a little bit. We don't need to see another fight between these lot. And then bring it back in the future if they both win again. But interesting fight, fun from the perspective of implementing game plan. Shevchenko implementing game plan. You've got a new champion. Boring from the perspective of watching it and whatnot. Yeah, I get it. But she won based on control. And that's the game. That's the game end of the day. That's MMA. Love it, hate it. You know, Alexa was throwing up, you know, trying to throw up submission to fight from the back. But that's the game. That's the game of martial arts. And that's a part of it. So I respect that. Let's go into the next fight. Let's move on. The next fight was another fun one. We had Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Now, Diego Lopez, this guy, man, this guy is smashing it, man. I mean, the last fight was cancelled. Who's it? Rob Font that just stepped in right off the couch, literally off the couch on the day, I believe, if I remember. He was literally watching the fight and got the call and then went down to the damn stadium to fight. That's just a beast. But the fact that he kind of, you know, he took that fight, I think he went up 2 weight classes, in fact, to make that fight happen, come back to do this to Brian Ortega. And Brian Ortega is just a beast. The guy's gone through so much wars. That's the thing I think people forget about Brian Ortega. The guy had, like, he had title fights. He went up there and he just, you know, just went through some wars. And when I say wars, I mean, he took a lot of damage more than anything with Volkanovski, with Max Holloway, just took tons and tons of damage. Now, we've seen him get hurt and then submit, you know, Yair Rodriguez. I would thought maybe that was something that was happening when Diego Lopez immediately connected in the beginning. I thought he was gonna, like, I don't know, people say like it looks like that Diego wanted to get a submission to almost like prove a point. Because he knocked down Brian Ortega immediately and kind of just jumped into his guard, and it looked like he was trying to get a submission. Maybe he was trying to prove a point or whatnot. Maybe if he allowed him to stand up, there's a possibility that he could have finished it earlier, made the fight easier. But hey, you know, he had his strategy. There was something that he wanted to do. Yeah, wanted to have a war with Brian. Brian Ortega is just a beast, man. I mean, such a calm character, and just a calm demeanor, and he's just got heart, man. Like, that Mexican heart, literally, they all have it, but he's got it, man. He's just crazy. He just goes through so much. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see him. Like, I wouldn't say he's on the decline. The guy's still one of the best. It's absolutely crazy. But definitely, I don't know. I mean, Brian Ortega against Trying to see who would have. Josh Emmett, Aljamain Sterling. That'd be a good grappling fight. That'd be a good. I know. Well, Aljamain Sterling is fighting Mozarv soon, but maybe if he fights the winner of that, that might be good, or the loser of that, that might be good. But I mean, for Diego Lopez, I mean, he falls into that was number. Oh shit! I didn't even realize He's number 13, and he took on number 3. He just did what like Umar did, and you've got to give Brian Ortega again the credit for giving him the opportunity. That's exactly almost like what Umar did, number 13 versus number 3. That puts him straight up there. I don't know if that puts him exactly number 3, but he beat the number 3 guy. Definitely got to put him in the number 5, I guess, in top 5 at least. And maybe for Diego Lopez, I mean, you got Holloway versus the champion Ilya, which can be amazing. Maybe Diego Lopez versus Alexander Volkanovski, man. You know, if he's going to be straight up there in the top 3, maybe he gets that. Maybe he gets Yair Rodriguez or Arnold Allen or something like that. Or maybe he gets the winner of Aljamain Sterling versus Movza. Maybe he gets the winner of that, and the winner of that gets a title shot. I don't know. There's a lot to play because Alexander Volkanovski, I mean, he could just make one more win to get up there for a title shot. There's a lot to do in that division as well. Fun. I mean, fun division. You got to get. I feel like Diego Lopez is like almost like fight of the year after, of course, Poha, not Poha. What's he say? Sharma. It's got to be after him because he's just. Definitely. I mean, the guy just been fighting every freaking couple months, saving cards and whatnot. All right, let's move on to the next fight, which was fight of the night. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Robovics, which was a fun freaking fight. Especially that round 2. If it was round 2, I think it was round 2 when they were just both going back and forth. Just absolutely crazy back and forth fight. Great striking fight. I'm trying to think if there was any takedown attempts. Might be one, but just relentless pace. Great back and forth battle. I mean, the what do you call it? The commentator guys, Cormier, Rogan, and Annett were just freaking out, and I think the whole arena was freaking out just because of the back and forth with these two. I mean, it was a great matchup between these two from the perspective of striking or just in general. But I don't think there was, if I can remember, I don't think there was any even takedown attempts of one of these two. Just went back and forth, really lit up the arena with this fight. So super fun fight. Both of them, fight of the night, just absolutely deserve it. Was amazing. Before that was to kick off the card, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Odin Osborne. Now, Odin as well. Ode. He started off amazing immediately. I mean, I don't even know how. I mean, Ronaldo showed that Mexican heart because Odin looked fast. I mean, the striking looked beautiful. Starting off with the jabs, some body kicks, straight, and then he knocked him down with was it a hook? I think it was a right hook, if I remember, and then caught him in a very deep triangle. Not only was he knocked down, caught him in a deep triangle immediately, and Ronaldo somehow survived and then just put it back on him. And I wouldn't say, I mean, of course they're going to get tired by the end of round 2, 3, but damn, just the heart, man. There's no way he was going to lose. I think it was just that Mexican independent, the Mexican spirit in general, the Mexican Independent Day, the arena, the atmosphere. No way he was ever going to lose. And that triangle obviously wasn't tight enough for him to sleep. Otherwise, because he weren't tackling. But he 100% would have gone to sleep if it was on, that tight. It would have put him to sleep. Man, heart, nothing but heart. Let's move on to the prelims. The prelims were fun as well. This was a short card. I think obviously because of the event and how much it cost and whatnot. So there wasn't much, normally have the first fights or whatever you call it, the free fights and everything. But the prelims, I mean, Arena Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Another great fight. Norma looked great in round 1, 2. And even 3, she looked great in all of them. Arena, especially round 3 with that cut. Freaking now. Again, it was that Mexican heart. The headbutt, that massive gash was disgusting. But that pumped her the hell up because in round 3, she looked amazing. She came out gun blazing. If that was a 5-round fight, it would have been just all her after. I mean, but that cut just I don't know, maybe the warmth of her blood or whatever she felt was like, fuck this, let's go. And she put it on her in round 5. But round 1 and 2 was won by Norma. So she took that fight, which was amazing. Another performance of the night. This one, Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. That step back right was beautiful. And he done that twice. And it was so crisp. It was so picture perfect. Beautiful step back right. This was the guy that Bilal Muhammad was talking about, saying he was an excellent striker. It's helped him so much. Helped Bilal Muhammad. They helped each other. But you saw that beautiful striking. I mean, just to come out of range and then just step back in with a beautiful straight right. Absolutely amazing. Fun fight, beautiful technique to look at. So that was awesome. Another performance tonight, Yasmin Juregi versus Ketlin Souza. Yeah, these two women went back and forth. It was the ground strikes was was interesting. I've never seen that before in women's MMA. But that knockout, I mean, straight after that, what was it? The left hook? Was it a left hook? I think it was a left hook. And then the way she took her back, like immediately was like, forget the ground and pound, took her back, got the choke in, put her to sleep. Just amazing. A good back and forth fight before the groin kicks happened or whatnot. But just the way she took the back, I think that was just an intelligent. It's so intelligent in this perspective of like, I got to hurt, let me take the back, get the choke in, done. Finish it off. That was amazing. Amazing performance by her. Next fight was Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van, which was a fun fight. How come it doesn't have the results in this one? Which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, Joshua Van won that fight. Why isn't that result there? That's interesting. But anyway, I mean, Joshua Van, round 2 onwards, those body shots were beautiful. Like the way he was digging into with those left hook into the body is where it took up air. Because Edgar was just trying to play loads of heart, sorry. Round 1, I feel like those calf kicks and legs was getting Joshua, or at least slowing Joshua down. But Joshua, when he found those body shots, man, was he landing those, and those beautiful. Sometimes the body shots and the rips to the body just looks better than the shots to the head. And from experience of sparring and doing some amateur fighting or whatnot, the body shots hurt, man. They hurt. The headshots, like, yes, they hurt, but you don't really feel a continuous pain. With the body shots, you feel like this continuous pain, man. I mean, Joshua Van was great, and he ended up winning rounds 1, 2, and 3. But that was a great back and forth. I think it was round 2 where he was just piling it on Edgar. Ed came back with a spinning back fist. Freaking hell. Hurt Joshua a little bit. Great fight. Another great. I'm surprised this fight didn't get performance of the night as well, because that should have, because that was a really fun fight. And then starting off the fight, the early prelims, which was the first fight of the night, kicking off this epic card, this epic arena, was Raul Rosa Jr., Mr. Chiwiwi, versus, oh man, it's gonna be hard for me to pronounce this, but I'm gonna destroy his name. All respect to my guy. I don't want to destroy his name. This is why I need K-West to help me with these names. Raul, Mr. Chiwiwi was he's matured a lot from the perspective of patience. I think when he first started, it was there's so much hype around him. He's absolutely amazing. There's so much hype around him. And he would just come out guns blazing. And then that one fight that he lost, I can't remember who that was against. Was it Ige? No, it wasn't Danny. I'm thinking of Danny Ige again. Can't remember who it was. But coming across someone with more experience and that rushing, coming out rushing in the first round just didn't work against someone with more experience and whatnot. And then it's great to see him grow because he's so young still and just kind of implemented patience into his game. Because in this, he was a lot more patient, striking. When he got in for the takedown, he went in, controlled, tried to get ground and pound and whatnot. Amazing patience. It's great to see him grow and get more mature after that loss. And I think a loss is always great for some of these fights, especially these young guys who come in gun blazing, have a good couple first round successes. And then, because you can't do that forever. You can't do that continuously. You come across that as the higher you go in the ranks and the higher level, there's going to be that one person you can't do that to. And then what happens then? And I think that was good for him to face that early, because now patience is on his side. Like, he learned patience, and it's going to be a new skill set as well as everything else. There's so much hype with him. He's young, he's probably more fearless. It's just amazing. It's good to see his growth. It's fun to see Rahul's growth in the UFC because there's so much hype around him. Cool. That was it. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it was an amazing card. Great fun fight. We've got 2 new champions, spices up both of those divisions. Super exciting for the future of the bantamweight division. I'm super excited about that division. That Sphere card was the arena, amazing. I don't know if they're going to do another one. Dana's talking about, I don't think it's a no. Maybe in the future. He was talking, I just listened to someone in the press conference, and he was talking about people saying that he needs to do one for America on 4th of July and a story for America and whatnot, American Independence Day. Listen, whatever they like, hopefully we get more of that, because that was amazing to see a UFC, the next UFC card. I think which is in a couple of weeks, it's not going to look the same, but end of the day, it's all about the fights, and the fights is what make it fun. So that's what it's about. But amazing card. The next one is going to be, let's just quickly go into the next card, which is, I think it's September 28th. So we've got off next week and then the week after. So we got Ronaldo Marcano, this guy, versus Benoit Saint-Denis. This is going to be a fun fight. Ronaldo, again, is on a hype. Amazing what he's doing. Benoit, he fought Dustin Poirier. Come on, let's be realistic, man. When you're fighting someone like him, it was a great learning thing for him. So let's see how it goes. So this one's in Paris, actually. So yeah, this one's in Paris in 2 weeks. So this one should be a fun card there. Hopefully they show it at a decent time in Dubai on a Saturday. That should be cool. Nasruddin Amamov, that should be fun. Middleweight. Didn't he just beat Jared Cannonier? Was that him? Am I going blank? Brendan Allen? I need to check that out later. But yeah, good card in 2 weeks. Ion Chutabala Laba. Yeah, this should be a nice fun card to keep us going till we get to the next main event, which is Alex Perez. Alex Perez back. Freaking hell. And when is it? October 6th. We're talking about 3 weeks from now. This guy's back. This guy, fight of the year, no doubt about it. Legacy. Guy, in a short period of time, he's got to go down as like a GOAT in regards to building your legacy like that quick. He's got to be like a GOAT for that perspective. Anyway, guys, that was my thoughts on the fight. Just wanted to geek out about it, just wanted to share my thoughts and just kind of share what I geeked out about these fights and UFC and whatnot. UFC done an amazing job with their brand. That's why I'm so biased to their brand. I mean, the fighters is what it's all about, but they've done something, and this event was just absolutely amazing. Quick shout outs to Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, who retired from MMA. Last week I saw on the one card. I think it was in Denver. He retired. That was an emotional speech, but legend, absolute legend. I mean, he's almost like Bruce Lee in the sense that, I remember this quote from Bruce Lee who was saying, like, if he was a heavyweight, it would be a different game. And that'll be the same thing with Mighty Mouse. If he was a heavyweight, he'll be a GOAT. No one could beat him because he's just unbelievable. So I guess the rest of the world is lucky that he's a small guy, but he will smash most people in the world anyway, regardless of size, except, professional big fighters and whatnot. So shout out to DJ for retiring, absolute legend. Liam Nielsen. Liam Harrison, the Punisher, also retired. I mean, he had a Muay Thai fight. He was just saying that his chin can't hold up. The guy's been through some battles. He's coming up to 38, or he is 38. I'm not even a fighter, and I'm 40 now, 39 and almost 40, and I get battered. I feel battered. So I can only imagine what a professional fighter's gone through, who's been fighting their whole life and come to that age. And he just decided that it was his time. It's always fun watching him train because his training footage and hitting the pads just like the screaming is unbelievable. So shout outs to him as well. Liam Harris, an absolute Muay Thai legend, the Punisher. So shout outs to them. Cool. All right, guys. Well, look, I want to give you my thoughts. I'm going to leave it there, and we'll catch up on the next one. Hopefully, K West, once he's sorted out his stuff, will be back. But until then, I'll give you my thoughts. Just want to geek out about these fights and share my thoughts. All right. On that note, I'm out, guys. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that good shit. We out. Peace.